Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, today I thought we'd talk a little bit about Tai Chi and fighting. Again, I'm too old to memorize a few pages of thoughts on this subject, so I'm going to read a little bit off my Word document here that I've thought about this quite a bit about. Here's my personal take on Tai Chi and fighting. As I said in a recent video, I distinguish between what I call my Tai Chi practice and what I call my T'ai-Chi Chuan practice. My Tai Chi practice is about studying and maintaining unforced balance in every aspect of my life. It's about balancing the hard and the soft, the firm and yielding aspects of everything in my life. My T'ai-Chi Chuan practice is my study of the Chinese martial art of that name. My Tai Chi practice includes fighting. My T'ai-Chi Chuan practice does not. So let me explain. So T'ai-Chi Chuan can be studied and applied as a functional martial art, or it can be used as a kind of what I call a martial yoga. That is a practice that uses martial training games for health, balance, and to unify mind, body, and spirit, like any other kind of yoga, which is primarily how I use it. That's how I use it. I know applications for all the moves and the forms and the drills I use, but I don't take them to combat levels of intensity and speed. I'm not trying to make carry tiger to mountain work in a fighting situation. I use my Tai Chi practice to develop and maintain core attributes, principles, and basics. Things like good skeletal alignment, relaxed, strong, and ready muscles, open joints, fluid movement, efficient kinetic chains, grounding and rooting, flexibility, footwork, relaxation, yielding, softness, sticking, balance, and agility. Things like that. Tai Chi can be functional as a martial art, but it has to be trained that way. Doing forms and pushing hands and drills with cooperative partners will not help you much in the ring or on the street. The forms are about learning the pathways, about building a mind-body connection that encourages efficiency, mobility, and grace. But to make the movements effective under pressure, and that's what a fight is, right? A lot of pressure. You have to train them under pressure. Punching air and working with imaginary opponents works the kinesthetic pathways that can be used to develop all kinds of healthy martial attributes. But if you want to use them under more pressure than that, you have to train them under more pressure than that. The difference between punching air, right? You know, even just doing this kind of a punch here versus punching a pad, someone holding a punching pad, oh my God, the difference is enormous. Even if you aren't interested in taking your Tai Chi to combat levels, or if you have the idea that you could use your art in a fight, even if you've only practiced on air so far, I highly recommend you find someone to hold pads for you. Get some punching mitts, not big gloves, but just some mitts that just give you a little leather padding, and hold those pads for you and see how it feels to hit more than air. For one thing, when you hit something that's not air, it hits you back. And so your whole structure has to be firm at the moment of impact to absorb that hit. Otherwise, you're just going to bounce back. So it takes a certain amount of sturdiness and strength, especially if you hit fairly hard multiple times. Even just having someone hold a pad right in front of them like this, and you just do a straight punch from your center to that pad, and put a little pop on it. Wow, it's really, really different. It takes a certain amount of accuracy too to do that. The thing about punching air is you never miss. So even though my Tai-Chi Chuan practice doesn't include fighting, I love my Tai Chi practice. It's the central physical practice of my life. I punch air all the time. So what's really special to me about Tai Chi is not its techniques or forms, and although I like and enjoy them quite a bit. It's not using some mysterious force to bend the laws of physics. I don't believe in that stuff. It's not using breath or intent or developing smooth, efficient movements. Lots of martial arts do that. What's special about Tai Chi to me is what makes any martial art special or different. It's not the forms or techniques, it's the training method. Up at the top, you know, the top people in most fields are pretty much the same. You look at the very top fighters all around the world, they don't look that different. this personal styles and stuff. What's different is how they got there, their own training methods. So in the case of Tai Chi, it's moving and learning slowly and carefully. It's studying kinetic chains and looking to make them as efficient and effective as possible. Yes, but all martial arts do that to some degree. What's different about T'ai-Chi Chuan training method is all the slow motion movement and study. It's the focus on the inner details of posture, balance, flow, connection, ease, power, momentum, coordination, breath, targets, timing, all that stuff, while moving slowly enough to study and improve it without injury. That training method is, as far as I know, unique to Tai Chi, the slow stuff. That's the training method that I really needed to find and really inhabit my body, as well as to develop and maintain some martial attributes. I had very little physical talent, and none of it came easy to me. And it's still a training method that I use and love every day to address whatever challenges I or life puts on my body. It can be a really good tool for self-exploration through studying the body and how it moves and stands and breathes and feels and relates to things. And the fruits of this study really come in handy mostly in daily life for me, and I mean daily life. They're not wasted if I never take them into the combat levels. These things might have already saved my life once or twice. So the T'ai-Chi Chuan training method can be great for just learning about the physics of daily life and how your body operates and being able to move through life without hurting yourself or anybody or anything that you work with. It's terrific for that. So I've recently started studying something called non-classical Kung Fu with a student of Jesse Glover's. Jesse was Bruce Lee's first American student. I'm really a beginner at this, but I'm already really enjoying and benefiting from the training. It's focused exclusively on street fighting. Its goal is the immediate survival in an actual violent situation. Its goal is not matching up with top fighters from other disciplines with lights and rules and refs and the things that you find in tournament fighting. Dueling or tournament fighting overlaps with street fighting somewhat. But they're really different animals with very different needs. In a tournament fight, I don't have to worry about the terrain, the fact that I'm drunk, the fact that I just had a big meal, the fact that I'm wearing the wrong clothes for moving well or the wrong shoes. I don't have to worry about multiple opponents or weapons or if this guy wants to literally kill me or not. And most importantly, if I'm in a tournament, I don't have to worry about when the fight is going to start and who my opponent actually is. All that stuff is handled going in a tournament fight. So street fighting is a different thing altogether, even though the skill sets are similar. While many tournament fighters would be effective in a street fight, it's possible, maybe even likely, that most really effective street fighters would not do well in the ring because they don't train to fight in the ring. With that set of rules and the likelihood of fighting a highly trained martial artist who is trained for exactly that kind of fight. I don't tend to believe street fighters when they say they won't fight in the ring because what they do is too deadly. I think the real reason is that they know they get beat. I wish they would just say that. That said, if two guys of relatively similar weight, fitness, and training are going to fight in the street, I'd put my money on the guy who had the most actual street fights. And if they were going to fight in the ring, I'd put my money on the guy who had the most ring fights. I mean, whoever has the most experience in that venue, I would tend, all other things being equal, I would bet on them. So, you know, I do think a lot of MMA fighters and other tournament dueling type fighters would do fine in a street fight. A lot of those skills transfer over. But I don't think the reverse is necessarily true. A really good street fighter might not necessarily be a good ring fighter. I'm not knocking dueling or tournament fighting at all. I have great respect for tournament type fighters of all stripes. I love boxing. I like watching MMA, judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. I like all of it. But I think that their skill sets translate very well to the street. It's just that that's not the particular art that I'm studying, and it's not what I'm interested in learning about. I'm too old. I'm not interested in getting in a ring with somebody who's super well trained in jiu-jitsu and takedowns and striking and all that stuff and playing in that set of rules and doing that. But I'm not stupid and arrogant enough to say, oh, you know, what I'm doing would defeat that. No, I'd get my ass handed to me in a ring in 2 seconds. Those guys are really good. I'm not saying that. So with this non-classical Kung Fu, there are some basic guiding ideas or strategies involved. There's lots of developing the different pieces or tools that are used primarily. Lots of pad striking drills, which I'm just loving. And Jesse's variation on T'ai-Chi Chuan, which is a Wing Chun exercise. And my goal, by the way, is just to be confident in a fight if I have to be in one, to know my way around a little bit, to develop some strength, power, and fitness that this style demands. I like that. I'm not trying to be great at this. I'm turning 60 this summer. I'm too old to take that kind of physical abuse and the risk that that kind of training would demand. I just want to be decent, just okay, and not be scared of real contact. I want to know my way around a little bit. So everything we do in this training is compatible with my previous training, my T'ai-Chi Chuan training. There's just a different focus, different timing, different levels of intensity. I find it all very compatible with my Tai Chi practice, my overall practice of looking for unforced balance, even if it doesn't include many specific techniques from my T'ai-Chi Chuan practice. Doing this stuff in an unforced and balanced way is enabling me to do this stuff at all. I mean, as I said, I turned 60 this summer, and I'm the oldest person in my little group. The youngest is an absolute beast in his early 20s, and I'm keeping up with him. So I'm not getting injured, which is awesome, beyond, you know, little minor things. So I'm happy to say that my Tai Chi practice now includes some fight training. But my Tai Chi practice does not really. I still continue to develop and maintain martial attributes, but not fighting per se. I don't try to make all the moves work under true non-compliant or intense pressure. I work the same channels or chains, but not against serious pressure. I punch air every day. It's martial yoga for me, not fighting. But everything I've learned in this yoga, I'm applying to the non-classical Kung Fu stuff. So that's how my Tai Chi practice can include fighting, but my T'ai-Chi Chuan practice does not. Tai Chi is the bigger umbrella. That's the one that includes my Tai Chi practice. It includes my practice of being married, being a good friend, balancing my checkbook, riding my bike, playing ping pong, playing hacky sack, writing and singing songs, playing the guitar, and as I say now, I'm happy to report it also includes some fighting. So that's my personal take on it. You may have another one. I'd love to hear about it. If you do, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You can subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of stuff. You can also visit GeneBurnett.com. If you do visit my website, I have a link there to some blogs that I've set up to make navigating my videos, my nature and music and Tai Chi videos much easier than doing it here on YouTube. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it.